Last time on the hardcore adventures of TinyGnomeGal, we take the opportunity to grind our way to level 22 in preparation for our first dungeon. After convincing some of Azeroth's finest players, we finish the dungeon without a single item drop or death. With Deadmines behind me, it's time to head back into the world again. We had a bit of unfinished business in Loch Modan and Redridge, so we task ourselves to wrap up the harder quests in those zones. Loch Modan first, since we're already starting to outlevel it. Jern Hornhelm tasks us with escorting a caravan of explosives that had left earlier.
Strong as they are, Moran and Cyan can only move so fast.
We find them set upon by dark iron dwarves and fighting one of their own.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal!
A warrior agrees to team up for the escort, but makes the common mistake of not handing in the previous quest before we start. Kindly, they help us anyway, so we give them a cookie for their troubles. The world's most hidden quest giver is next up on the list. He asks us to find out what the nearby dark iron dwarves are up to. Oh look, more explosives.
If my suspicions are correct, this is some type of explosive powder.
Yeah, no shit. Hinderweir then sends us to an explosives expert in the wetlands to find out more. The first thing to learn about the wetlands is Dun Algaz is dangerous. I've lost a hardcore character to these orcs before while overleveled, so we're going to safely clear out the orcs this time around. Huh, I wonder what this guy wants.
I don't suppose you'd mind taking this bundle of crocolisk skins to James Halloran. I'd do it myself. But my wife's been in quite a mood lately, and I'd like to put off facing her as long as possible.
I never thought I'd get such insight into the marriages of Blizzard employees.
My wife slept on the couch while I laid my son, 3 days old, on a towel on my desk next to my keyboard.
But here we are. Ashlyn is holed up like Private Ryan, but takes the time to tell us about the most original fantasy name for an explosive ever.
Sephorium?
Along with a shopping list of items we need to disarm it. I guess a lack of sincerity is more powerful than any bomb.
Hasn't delivered his skins to me in person for almost a week now. No doubt it's some differences with the wife. Maybe I'll have my wife go speak with Sita sometime.
Were the Blizzard writers making whip-crack noises in the office and talking about the old ball and chain when they wrote these?
You know, guys get lonely.
Like, there is some real whiplash going from what is some great world building and political intrigue in the lack of reinforcements for the dwarves in this area.
Normally the Dragonmoors just hide up in the hills. What made them surge into Algaz is still a mystery.
Which mirrors what is talked about all over the Alliance zones in the Eastern Kingdoms. But there also seems to be some weird sexist counterpart dotted throughout the quests here too. I'd sigh if I knew how to get the AI to do anything other than words. Anyway, let's go back to Loch Modan and hope the Sephorium doesn't also need stolen breast milk to deactivate it too. We hand over the instructions to Hinderweir to disarm the explosives, just as a group is forming up to clear out the nearby ogres. The group forms, easily smashing the ogres and getting us the quest item. The bomb is at the bottom of the dam and is easily disarmed. Now, heralded as a savior of the loch, it's time to get back to town. The turn-in to Bluntnose brings us to level 24. Just one final quest to hand in for our first ring and...
Say the line, Bart!
It's all ogre now.
Yeah!
A quick hearth to Stormwind to grab the level 24 skills, giving us an AoE taunt for the Voidwalker, which is incredibly useful on scuffed pulls with large numbers of enemies, and the next rank of Corruption. Level 24 also gives us the final talent point for mitigating spell resists. Okay, it's Redridge time and we cleared out all the hard quests before Deadmines. The remaining ones are fairly deadly, but we're a level 24 Warlock now. Let's start with Yowler. There's even another player here we can group up with. How hard can it be? Good thing we picked up the spell that helps in case of scuffed pulls with large numbers of enemies. Before we continue, recent events have made me realize I should make something clear. If I'm poking fun at someone in one of my videos, I'm not doing so out of malice or anger. If you see someone in one of my videos and your instinct is to treat them poorly because of it, don't. The escort quest is up next, and we already have a couple people wanting in. Oh no, you don't. The warlock tags along anyway while we're clearing to Kishan. Alright, fine. But if he gets us killed, I get to say I told you so. Thankfully, this quest is pretty easy with sheer numbers, so we fight our way back to town. Oh, hey, a new dress! Next up is Belly Grub. The respawn is quite long, and we end up meeting a warrior while waiting, followed by a couple others. It's an easy fight, and we reach honored with the gnomes. In general chat, a paladin puts out a call for the elite orc quests, so it's go time for the elites of Redridge. As I'm making my way over, another group has 2 spaces, so it's time to team up. With a full squad at hand, our confidence levels are high.
Oh, no.
Oh shit. These guys have banished too. At least the rest of the orc questing goes okay, gathering the orbs, then killing Theral Zun and Gath Ilzog. Whoops. Guess I should have checked quests before killing him. Fangor goes down easily enough as well, leaving us done with the group parts of the zone. So long as you forget the whole Gath Ilzog thing. Some of the group have a quest to do in Mogan's tower, so we stick around to help them beat up the local Shadow Mage. Some hounds with legally distinct Smash Bros sound effects later. It's a good thing we stuck around to help them with this, because Morganth is a surprisingly rough fight. Not only is his aggro radius huge, but he spawns a level 30 abomination, alongside the small army upstairs. We make it through the fight in mostly one piece, but it truly was a task. The moment we leave group, we find the pendant that starts the questline for Moganth's tower. I don't really want to redo this area though. I don't want to get rabies either.
It's no treatment.
But at least it isn't lethal in this universe. These gnolls are miserable to fight as a warlock. They have a high base shadow resist. This includes not only my spells, but my Voidwalkers too. Belial has to be brought out, because at least his fireball works. We can take on 2 mobs, right? Okay, maybe not. We ding 25 and loot the final pendant. While it's tempting to learn more about the rivalry between this guy and the mage I killed earlier, I think it's time we plan our trip to get our Sayad duo first. Just a quick shout out to Sloth Sarcasm first though. Their post on the Classic WoW subreddit for how to level defense skill works really well. Those last few quests made me realize getting smacked around by elites is a fast way to get killed with under-leveled defense, so keeping it trained up is really useful. Just make sure to have a TV show on in the background and stay out of the way of people using the rats for their own needs. I see you, Dice.
Dinkelberg.
Reaching the Barrens is quite the trek, so we'll enjoy the boat ride until next time.